All right. So we're going to be going over Instagram today. I'm so excited about this because I have been working so hard on a list to go through to make sure I don't forget anything, leave anything out, so that we can all have an incredible Instagram and make sure that we can all, reach its full potential. Hold on one second. Let me tell Zach to come get that baby monitor. Hold on. Okay. So anyways, all right, sorry about that. I know you can probably hear Cami screaming because it's in her room and she's crazy right now. So, okay, so we're starting with, I wanted to go over how many people on here are doing or have any highlights on their story. If you don't have highlights or you don't know what Instagram highlights are, make sure you put it in the chat. We're going to be going over, we're going to start off with, hold on, we're going to be going over highlights, profiles, unfollowing, following, bios, posting, and all that kind of good stuff. But let me start out with a profile picture because I feel like that's like one of the most crucial things. And it actually is your Instagram highlights and your profile photo are actually like basically when somebody first comes to your profile, they have about 3 to 5 seconds of looking at it and decide if they want to keep following you, if they're interested in like paying attention to you, or if they're like totally not interested in you at all. So you want to make sure like when they first come to your profile that your profile is bomb. Like you want to have a good profile picture, a good bio, good highlights, all that kind of stuff. Like you want to catch attention in the first 3 to 5 seconds that they get to your profile. So having a good profile photo is so crucial. And you need to be updating it every 3 months. What I found to be kind of like the biggest thing is like making sure your profile picture fits you. So making sure your profile photo does not have like a Snapchat filter or anything like that. You want to make sure if your like main focus on your page is you, and then your profile photo needs to be you. Okay. Like, so what I mean by that is like, okay, so most of the time, like I would say like the only time I would not have it just be of me is if like I could do like one of the girls, like my kids, but really you want it to just be you. Unless you're like unless your posts are mostly like directly related to your kids, then you could do you and your kid. But you also want to make sure that the profile picture has these qualities, okay? It's eye-catching, bright, colorful. Both of y'all are smiling. And I know sometimes like I have 2 kids of my own, so I know that it's almost impossible to get them to cooperate for a photo and to both smile, or one, Cami, God forbid, try to get her to get a smile in a photo. So you want to make sure it's like a really good quality photo, meaning you don't take it inside, like where like it's in a closet or anything. You want to make sure it's not grainy. And let me show you guys, basically, I will show you guys, I'm going to show you a lot of examples in this video so you could really truly get the difference. Okay. So this photo was taken of me looking outside, okay? So it's clear, crisp, bright, colorful, all the good things, okay? But then I'm just going to go to my feed and let me block a photo and show you guys the difference. I'm trying to make sure. Okay. Well, no, that doesn't work. Hold on. All right. Make sure this girl's like not on the team or anything because that would be weird. Okay. I don't think she is. Okay. So this is basically, hold on. What I mean by this is not, okay, hold on, let me focus it. All right, see how it's not crisp? It's blurry, and there's like a lot of distraction in the background. There's like the Build-A-Bear clothes. I mean, it's a cute photo, but it's not profile picture photo, okay? And I wouldn't even consider this Insta-worthy because you want to make sure that basically you have a clean background. So don't take it in front of the kitchen counters. Don't take it in front of your dresser, your bed. You want the background to be a blank. So like either a wall or like if you're outside, like just like a bunch of trees, but don't make it like where it's like a parking lot or anything like that. Be very cautious of the backgrounds. Make sure that you are taking it in sunlight. That doesn't mean like look directly into the sun, like go into like a shaded spot. Usually like during the day, midday, if you go into like a shaded area, you can see like what I mean. Like there's going to be good lighting. That's very, very, very important. A lot of times people are always like, they'll ask, how do you get a good photo? And honestly, it's just going outside during the day, finding a good spot, look for the lighting. You'll see what I mean. When you turn this way, it's bad. When you turn this way, you're like, oh, wow, it looks so much better. That's just how you take a good profile photo, okay? And then you edit it. I personally use Photoshop Express because it's got the best settings. And basically, you could use Photoshop Express, Pick That Go, whatever. but I like Photoshop Express, and I will show you guys why, okay? So this is just a quick example, and it's not the best example because I took this photo inside, but here's an example of what happens. Okay, wait a minute. Okay, so this right here, this would be, oh my gosh, it's really hard to show you guys through a laptop because it doesn't like portray like the, why is this doing this? Okay, well, okay, there we go. And then swipe it this way. You guys, oh my God. Wait for it to focus. It doesn't really, like I said, it doesn't really show exactly what I'm trying to get at here, but basically this right here, you know what, maybe I should turn the brightness down. Let's see if that helps. Okay. Well, no, it doesn't help. Okay, so it's like basically impossible to show you through this, but basically the picture quality is going to be like when I do Photoshop Express, I do brightness, and let me pull up the app so I can show you guys. Okay, so I use, when I'm editing a photo, I click these 3 lines down the bottom. I use exposure, contrast, sometimes I'll use highlights. I use vibrance, saturation. I just play with it a little bit. There's no like perfect one for, like it's different for every photo. And then clarity and sharpen. And basically that just makes your pictures brighter, clearer, crisper, and just catches more attention because like all the colors are more vibrant. So that's how I edit my photos for Instagram, okay? And that is a must when it comes to your profile picture every 3 months. If you haven't updated your profile picture, if your profile photo is blurry, then you need to make sure that you get a good quality camera. Like honestly, guys, basically I know if you have an iPhone, that's great. If you have like an older phone that's not iPhone, like I don't know, like a lot of times it's the Droids, like the Android, whatever. Like the older ones have a lot of grainier photos. If you have like, if your mom has an iPhone or something, just take a selfie with her phone and like make sure you can brighten it, crisp it up or whatever, and use that as your profile photo. Because like guys, I can't stress you guys enough, grainy does not get attention. Like if I see a grainy photo, a lot of times I'll just scroll past. It's just the way that our minds are like programmed. So when you're scrolling through your Instagram feed and you guys see like, you'll see, you know, let me think. Okay, for example, like, oh God, this is so hard. I don't want to show like everybody's names and call everybody out, but basically like, and again, it's really hard to see, but like, see how this is like, it's just like grainy and just a bunch of no there, okay? And then I'm scrolling through and then like, I'm looking, I'm like, oh my gosh, this girl's kid is so cute and it's so crisp, so clear. Make sure I don't show her name, hold on. And like, basically this little kid is so cute. Okay, you guys can obviously see it was taken with a good camera, but make sure your photo is good. Okay, that's basically what I'm getting at. It's so crucial. 3 to 5 seconds, somebody's gonna look at your page and be like, oh no. If I look at somebody's page and they don't have a good photos on their Instagram timeline, I will not follow them. And if they follow me, I'll deny the request. So make sure your pictures are of good quality. Okay, so that's really important. So if you don't have a new profile photo tomorrow, your job is to go ahead and get yourself to you know, look your best and take a photo with a good quality phone. It's like I said, it doesn't have to be like some extra like Canon or Nikon or whatever. Just make sure you have a good quality phone to take the picture with, okay? All right, so the next thing is, okay, Instagram highlights. Now this is something that I have not fully done on my profile yet. This is something that I've actually been working on today, and I wanted to just do the training so I could show you guys exactly how to do it with me so you guys know how to do it and like all the goodies that go along with Instagram stories. Like I said, 3 to 5 seconds is what somebody's going to spend on your profile to see if they like you or they don't. So basically your highlights need to be really, really crucial on your page. So make sure they are something meaningful. Now here are some good topics that I found that you can like make on your like Instagram highlights, your story, whatever you want to call that. So your cover photos, like your little like categories for the highlights, which are going to show up, if you guys don't know, they show up right here. You guys see like this right here. Okay, so they're gonna show up there when you have them done. So you want to make them into things like all right, so family, like if you want to do a family tab, and you don't have to name them this, like you guys can, like if you guys have different cooler names or whatever, these are just ideas to stem from. Family, pets, hobby. So, and don't say hobbies, just say like what your hobby is. So like if you like to cook, like you could do like cooking or something like that. But don't put hobby, okay? Weight loss, if you're on a weight loss journey, or fitness. If you're doing like, if you're working out or something, that's a good one. Recipes, if you like, you know, that's an idea if you like to cook. Your story, so you could say my story is like one of your little things. Reviews, if you like to get product and do reviews on them, you could do reviews on It Works products. So like if all your customers like give you reviews, like you can screenshot it and like put it into a highlight so that people can see like reviews on, you know, different things. Or you could do something like a specific, if you really like keto coffee or like whatever your jam is. A lot of people have like 1 or 2 specific products. You can like get reviews on those and then like put it into your review tab. Travel, if you travel a lot, this is not a tab if you do not travel, okay? So like I'm not talking like if you go like an hour up the road, like that doesn't count. Traveling is something where like, okay, so if you frequently go places, that's what travel would be. So like if you go to, you know, out of the like let's say like I live near Charlotte, okay, I live in South Carolina, but it's like close to Charlotte. So basically like if I went to the apple orchard last week, and then we try to go places kind of often. We go to Florida, we go to Disney World, things like that. That's traveling. Just so you guys kind of know, like think about like what you would want to be interested in seeing for traveling, not so much just like something small, if that makes sense. How to, so like how-to videos, how to do makeup. So if you're really good at makeup, or how to make coffee, the keto coffee, how do you make healthy snacks or shakes or whatever. Like if you're kind of into cooking, or even if you're like, oh my gosh, like I love to, you know, I don't know, rap or whatever. How to is a good like tab. Whatever it is you want to do, how to is great. Question and answer, that's a good one too. I feel like doing like little questions and answers about like what I do. So like if you do you know how on Instagram you could do those little like question things, or it's like ask me a question. So you could be like, what scares you about what I do, or what are you most confused about what I do, or whatever. And like you can do those over time, and like then you could put that into that highlight, if that makes sense. So, and you want to strategically place them. Don't do like, I would say don't do more than like 7 or 8 highlights, because you want people to be able, like not be like, oh wow, this girl has 50 different things to talk about. You want to make sure, like, do what stands out to you most. If you're into fitness, that. Your story obviously needs one. Everybody has to have a highlight for their story. Then they have to do one for like the stuff that interests you. So fitness, traveling, whatever it is, that your kids, stuff like that, that's different ideas. So, okay. What else goes into those highlight categories? Okay, so every day you should be posting on your, oh wait, hold on. Okay. All right. So color photos. So just do like a generalized, like, what do you see? Let me look at your thing real quick. I'll give you a quick idea. When you go to your profile, I did pink because it's my favorite color. And I do a lot of pink. Like my girls wear a lot of pink. So I was like, yeah, it's probably the most prominent. Okay. So I actually see quite a bit of like oranges in yours. So I would do like either like a Halloween, like fall, like orangey red, or, really just like orange or red, because you have a lot of those in your photos. So do orange or red. So and you guys can look up and do like when it comes to like the actual highlight, I'll show you guys, it's really important. So basically what I'm doing is for my actual highlight cover is you want it to be a solid, or like you can do solid, you can do hold on, where did I put my notes on this? Oh my god, where did it go? Hold on. I know it's over here. You can do solid colors, marble. It could be like flowers if you want, but you want to make it like basically something that goes with the flow of your profile. So with my profile, if you guys look at it, there's a lot of pink because both my kids wear a lot of pink, okay? So I got this one. It's a pink watercolor, and it's really annoying that my laptop does not focus in on that. Hold on, let me turn the brightness down a little bit. So this is what I use, and it's, there you go. So that's what it looks like, and then that's what my first highlight's gonna look like. It says my story. And so you want to make sure that your color goes with your theme, and your theme can be really anything. Like if you post, and you can just look at your profile and see like, okay, so I have a lot of reds, I love a lot of blues, or whatever, like whatever if your profile is like super bright, if you like to do bright colors, I know a lot of people like to do a lot of white or a lot of blues, like a lot of people like the Tiffany blue color, that's good too. Just whatever, just keep it like a solid, because or solid, a watercolor, or like you can do marble if you want. But just make sure you're putting words in there or icons. Icons are harder to do. And I think like I made my own. I just went to Pinterest and searched iPhone backgrounds. And then I did pink iPhone backgrounds, and like that's how I came up with that. And then I'll use WordSwag to type in my categories. So like my story, fitness, whatever. So that's kind of what I'm doing as far as that. Okay. So getting your highlights up there. Okay. And the way that you pick what you're going to do your categories on is what you're talking about. And if you aren't talking a lot on Instagram, guys, Instagram platform, once you get the hang of how to use Instagram, it's a game changer, 150%. Like I used to hate Instagram because I thought it was more complicated. In some ways it is more complicated than Facebook, but honestly, I see faster results on Instagram than on Facebook consistently. So I can usually get people to sign up faster, like as far as distributors, as far as customers, I have a broader reach. And so I think that like if y'all just really dove into this and you guys are listening to this and utilizing these features, it's going to change your life, okay? So whatever you're talking about most in your stories, which you should be on your stories every single day, 10 to 15 Instagram stories every day. And that's just random stuff. Like, and I'm going to go over what to post in your Instagram stories, but like whatever you're doing most of the time, like whatever consumed your time, whatever you're talking about most of the time, that's what needs to be in your like Instagram highlights, okay? And every time you post a story, for those of you guys that don't know what highlights are, every time you post a story, you can add something to a highlight, if that makes sense. So like every time, let's say like I post a picture of the kids and like I have a kid highlight, I would get every single person or every single post into that kids highlight for all my kids. And then like anytime I cook, if I had like a cooking one, I could be like, oh, this is what I cooked, and like put it into that. Okay, so that was okay. So talking about that. All right, now I'm going to go into talking about your bio, and then we're going to go into more of like what to post and how to post and all that kind of stuff. And then we're going to talk about getting your following. Okay, so your bio, what are you most known for? People are naturally attracted to lists. So if you have, like, if your bio, you never want to put anything like it works, entrepreneur, like I don't like that kind of stuff. It's just like people are like, oh, okay, whatever. You want to make sure you're doing stuff that's like more focused on you and what you like. So for me, I'm trying to think of a little bit more clever. I am the least creative person there ever was. Hold on one second. Okay, so back to what I was saying. Okay, so what are you most known for? So I'm the least creative person ever in the world. So I'm trying to figure out more of what I want specifically on there, like try to figure out like my little niche. But this, so far I have this as a list. And I'm gonna show you guys a couple people's like examples, but this is what I put in mine. Okay, it's just mom of 2 princesses, follower of Christ, and then inspiring young moms to reach their full potential. And basically that's what I do most of the time. And you always want to have a link in your bio. Always link in the bio. Whether it's your Facebook link, if you don't put your It Works link, but if you have a blog or your Facebook link, or if you have some sort of like, I don't know, whatever, like if you have a website that's not It Works website that you like that pertains to you just like blogging or writing stuff on there, then you can put that too, but definitely you need a link in your bio. Okay, and making sure it's not like you have to put it in like list form instead of like just writing a constant sentence. Keep all the like the fluffy like stuff that doesn't really matter out. Let me show you. I know Brittany's same thing. It says girl mom of 2, good vibes and golden noodles, helping moms stay home with their babies. Okay, so something like that. Okay, hold on. You sent me let me look. I have 46 right now. So your Facebook link, if you just go to edit profile, way up here. Okay. And then you click, it'll say website. Hold on. There it is. See website. So, okay. So there it is. All right. So that's how you do a website. So your bio, you want to do, what are you passionate about? Talk about things that you like, but don't be like adventurer, It Works, health freak, or whatever. Like you can do health freak, but don't do like anything like promoter or anything like that. You want to stay away from stuff like that. Okay, so that's your bio. Don't put quotes in your bio. And okay, the next thing that I want to talk about is your following. Okay, so this is also so crucial to gaining people and paying attention. You just like type in something and hit enter, and then enter, and then type the next thing. Does that make sense? Okay, so following. So you want to make sure your following is not higher than your followers, okay? And you want to keep up with it. And I'm going to share with you guys a super golden trick that I learned, and it actually helps a lot. So we're going to focus on right now, like tonight into tomorrow. I want you to focus on unfollowing people who do not follow you back. Also, and this is the app I use, Cleaner for I use Cleaner for my Instagram for iPhone. And basically what I do here is there is a setting. Let me get to it. And of course it's doing this. It's taking a second. It's going to load. So basically what I do is in Cleaner, you can actually set it to unfollow people that are inactive. I unfollow people who don't post at least once every 30 days. So if you're not posting, I'm not following you, because I need people that are active on Instagram in my business. I don't want people that like get on Instagram like once a year, okay? So I'm looking for people who post at least once a month. So basically there's a setting on here. Once it loads up, I'll show you guys how to do it. And it'll go through all your followers, and it'll unfollow anybody who doesn't follow you back or anybody who doesn't follow you back, and anybody whose profile has not had a post on it in the past 30 days. It's Cleaner for iPhone. It's only for iPhone. Android users, I'm not versed with Android, so I'm sorry, but I don't think there's even an app that compares. I know Followers Assistant is like the unfollow app, but it does not have all the features that the iPhone app does. So this is taking a hot minute. Okay, so it's still filtering. I don't know why I had to do this first before it just let me click the settings, but it did. So in the meantime, we're going to go ahead and move on to content in your Instagram story. So what you should be posting, like when I tell you 10 to 15 things on your Instagram story, this is so important. When the Instagram stories first came out, I was getting only 200 views. And basically like what I figured out was you've got to be consistent on your Instagram stories every day. You can't just like not do it at all, like for a day, because people are like waiting for you to post something. If you notice, for those of you guys who are consistent with your Instagram stories, as soon as you post something, people are watching it. So like I can tell you, like the second I post an Instagram story, people already watched it. Like within like 5 minutes, I already have 100 and something views, because people are like waiting for me to click something or to post something on my thing so they can click it and watch what I'm doing. They're interested in what I'm doing, when I'm doing it, what's going on, what is Katie talking about. That's just how they are. So make sure you're doing it every single day, because people are going to like keep watching you and be interesting on your story. So talk about your life. Make sure you guys are taking notes on this. Your life. So that means like if you get up in the morning and your kid's being cute, do something like that. If your kids are playing together, or if you're cooking breakfast, you're making keto coffee, you're making a shake, you're having greens, you're trying to pick out an outfit, do a poll, what's better, A or B. You're trying to pick out your shoes, A or B. You could do pretty much anything. If you work, there's still things you could do. Like I said, coffee, breakfast, things like that when you're getting out the door. If you're, driving to work, you could always do like at a stoplight or something. Like you could say like, do like a video of you like with your, like jam to your favorite song or like whatever. But you basically got to do something. Like on your lunch break, you could do a little, whatever, like a little video or something of you talking about. Maybe you're making a shake on your lunch break or do a little video like here. You kind of want to add a little bit of vlogs in there, but it's just basically your life. And it doesn't really matter what you do. If you're a stay-at-home mom, if you work full-time, or you're in school full-time, or whatever, you do have stuff to talk about. You just need to start finding those things to talk about, which means, like I said, anything you do, you're going to find out what people like about you, and you're going to do more of that. So if you're talented at something like doing your makeup or, cooking or, sewing or dancing or whatever, you're going to figure out, like, pretty much, what are you good at? Talk about that. Okay. Put your location on stuff. That's a good one too. So basically, like when you're out and you're like, let's say you're out to eat, you can always there's a location feature on Instagram. So like when I do all right. So here we are. You click the little like this emoji thing. Okay. Oh, dang it. Hold on. Wrong one. This one. My fingers are fat. Okay. So you would click location, and it tells you where you're at, okay? So basically I would click that, and then it'll, if you're at Chick-fil-A, it'll be like Chick-fil-A or McAllister's or whatever. So you can just click that. You could also add things like music. You can add a music and you just click that, and then it gives you some suggestions, or you could search it. And basically at this time, what I could do is this, like, okay, I clicked Nicki Minaj. It does this. Click done, and then it adds it there. So it just puts it on your thing. So when people see your, like, click the story, it's going to go on so that you can, like, when I click your story, it's going to play the song. Okay, so, all right, so polls. Okay, yeah, add polls on your thing constantly. Like, you want to do things, and it's not always for the business, and this is so important. When you're posting, you never start, like, your first story with a product post or a business post, ever. You always start with something totally random. So, like, your life, and then you can throw in the business or a product, but you never want your Instagram stories to be filled with products or business. Ever. Like, people are watching your story because they want to see you. If they wanted to watch an advertisement all day, who watches TV for commercials? So you want to make sure that you're always talking about you, your life. And guys, the more you and your life are present and you're showing your personality, the more people want to know about you and what you're doing and why you do things the way you do. Think about, like, TV shows, reality TV, Kim Kardashian, the Kardashian Show. People do whatever Kylie Jenner does and whatever Kim does. And they're like, Kim's like, oh my God, I want to wear, you know, whatever, juicy jeans. Like, now everybody's like, oh, juicy jeans, these are so in, like, I'm buying these. It's kind of like the same thing on a different scale, you know, but, like, that's what people do. Like, they're looking for things to, you know, people to follow, literally. So, like, that's kind of like what you're creating here is like a big, you're branding yourself, creating a following. And by doing this, like, you're showing your life and then creating things and getting people interesting. So, polls and question features. So whenever I'm doing polls, I'm doing things, like, all the time. Like, it'll be polls, like I said, this outfit or that outfit. Do you like this shirt better or that shirt better? Do you like Starbucks or Dunkin'? Or do you, and, like, I try to do it with me, like, holding a Starbucks up or a Dunkin' cup. I'm like, do you like Starbucks or Dunkin' better? Or, you know, doing something so simple, like, even doing, like, a question, like, where's the best place to get, you know, kids jeans or something like that. Like, just asking, like, in the little question box. You just want to get people interacting with you. And guys, the more they interact with you, the more they see your stuff. So you want to get feedback on what your followers like. And this is cool because, all right, so let's say you obviously see who votes on what poll. So, like, let's say, is clean eating important to you? Yes or no? And people that say yes, I'm like, oh my gosh, I relate to them because I eat clean, you know, 90% of the time. So I'm like, I want to see their friends list because they're clean eaters. Or people that, like, oh my gosh, like, I absolutely do not like, you know, let's see, I don't know. I posted these shoes one time. Like, I don't like this one type of shoes that are, like, really in right now. And I said, are these, you know, do you love these shoes? Or, like, do you have to have these shoes? Yes or no? The people who said yes, I'm like, can't vibe with you. The no's, I'm like, hell yeah, like, you're my girl. So, like, I look on their profile and I go to their followers because guess what? They are hanging out with people just like them. So I'm finding more people like them to follow. So that's how I find more followers. I write their name down if I don't have time to follow their followers right now, but I make sure I'm, like, keeping up with these people and I interact with them more because we can bond over stuff like this. And anytime, you guys know, like, I always say, like, online friends, like, I have online friends, like, that are not a part of our team yet. And I love seeing their posts because they're funny. Like, I love watching people that are paying, like, you know, looking at their Instagram stories and, like, talking to them about their memes that they post because they are freaking hilarious. So I'm always looking for people like that I can just, like, talk to, laugh with, you know, share funny stories with. And they're kind of looking for the same thing in you. So you want to follow people that are, like, similar to you. So, like, doing polls and stuff are going to find you followers that, like, relate to you, and you guys can, like, kind of bounce off each other. So that's cool. So number 4, keeping it real. So let's say, for example, okay, so don't always feel like, and this is really important, I think some of our people need to hear this too, don't always look perfect for your Instagram, okay? Because people need to know, like, that you aren't always done up or always perfect or whatever. Don't feel like you need to be a certain way or look a certain way all the time because, let's face it, like, I look like this 90% of the time. I get ready, like, once or twice a week, but that's pretty much it because I don't have to. So I do videos on my Instagram looking like this because I want people to know, like, hey, this is literally what I look like most of the time. And then, like, 10% of the time I actually look like, you know, a human being. So I think that's important. But also doing, like, okay, so if you do like to get ready every day, I know some people do like to do that, and like maybe you slay the game at makeup and you're like, hell yeah, I rock it, you know, putting on eyeshadow or lashes or whatever. Why don't you do a tutorial on how you got there, like before, and then like this is like, you can do like get one of those apps that like speeds up your videos. I don't know what those are because I'm not really that versed in makeup, but speed up your video of you like doing it, or like do like a quick, like this is like you know, a makeup hack or something, and like do little like tidbits on how you got to the finalized look, or go live on Instagram and share how you get to that final look. You want to show your followers like basically from beginning to end, sometimes, not all the time, but like every, you know, few days if you do it a lot or whatever. Same thing with like cooking. Like if you make a really killer, like, I don't know, buffalo dip or some sort of cheese dip or something that you really like, then go ahead and share how you do it, like step by step. Like these are the ingredients you add here, do this, do that, do this, and this is the final product. Amazing, right? And like people are going to follow you for that. So you don't want to just always show like the end result. You want to show in between and how to get there. And that's going to create a following as well. Sharing behind the scenes, this kind of goes along with that. So like a lot of times people like to highlight things. We all do that on social media anyway. So we all try to highlight like the best part of our lives. Like, oh my gosh, look how cute Cami looks. But like seriously, like right before that photo, I was about to kill her because she was giving me an attitude and being a butthole. So like showing like little things like that, like little sassy attitude from her, instead of always showing like, you know, her being like so cute and perfect in a photo, just showing behind the scenes of my life. So let's say like if I'm going behind the scenes at, you know, at an event, like, oh my gosh, like here's, you know, this is what's going on right here or whatever, like, or maybe like your husband's doing something funny and like your husband always looks like, you know, smiling in a photo or serious in a photo, and like then he's laughing and being silly or something. That's a behind the scenes kind of a moment. So you want to make them feel like they're getting exclusive access to your life. So, and then again, the other day I did an example. I'll show you guys an example. We just had a photo shoot done, and I did a video. I did a series of 3 videos on my Instagram story that were like this. Okay, let me get it focused. Okay, and then it was basically just like this, and it was Kinsey laughing, and like just the photographer shooting her photos, and like that's a behind the scenes. It shows people like, hey, I'm about to have a photo shoot come up, whatever. Just little things like that. Okay, you just got to be really, really thoughtful. If you guys haven't already caught on to that yet, so thoughtful about everywhere you go, every time you're doing something, lots of photos, lots of videos, all the time, and you have those to use for later. And I got something super cool for people that that work a lot or are really busy. I have a really cool thing that I found out. So number 6. Okay, so templates. So those things, like, you know how sometimes people post on like post those things that it's like this or that, like, do you like Coke or Pepsi or Dunkin' or Starbucks or whatever? Like doing those every once in a while, same thing as the polls, like that's good. Throw them in there every once in a while, and then like leave the blank template and be like, tag me, you know, in yours or something. So people are tagging you in theirs, and their followers are going to want to follow you and yada, yada. Don't do like 7 in a row. I'm talking like throw 1 in there every few days, but like, because they do get like, sometimes they're abused, because I know I actually just unfollowed somebody the other day because she had 8 in a row, and I was like, I do not care about all your this or that. Okay, so I just unfollowed her for that. But a lot of people like want to know like little things, and if you do a little here and there, it's good because your followers are like, oh, she likes this too. And kind of like the whole Kim Kardashian thing, like Kim's like, oh my god, buy this, and everybody's like, oh my god, I'm buying it. Okay, so quotes occasionally are good. Again, don't overdo it. Don't put 100,000 quotes in your feed because that's annoying. So just do like 1 positive quote a day, and like that's good, or 1 every other day or something. But like little quotes here and there, they're good. Posting tips. Tips about like fitness or, you know, I always like try to relate because we are in a health and wellness company. So like fitness, health, things like that are really, really, you know, awesome to do, like little fitness things. Hacks. So like, you know how like sometimes on Facebook we'll see like little life hacks or something. You could take one of those and like demo it at your house. Okay. And like, just if it's like, I honestly can't think of a hack right now because I suck at them, but like, something that I found like before I was pregnant, which like saved my life, was a hair tie. Like if you literally like stick a hair tie through your button loop on your jeans and like wrap it around the button, hey, it turns into a little maternity jean. So like that's a little hack. And yeah, that's literally the only one I can think of right now. So like if you did that, like that's a little hack to show it on your feed, whatever. Show like books that you're reading, or things like little book, like if it's an audiobook, if you're listening to a book, or if you're reading a book, anything like that, like just throw the whatever you're basically like into, like do that. Okay, so that's some good ideas as far as posting on your story, and you can add any of that to your highlights. So whatever you feel like you don't have to add everything to every highlight, but I'm just like basically giving you guys some ideas like to add whatever you like into your story and then put those into your highlights so people that follow you at a later time can always click and see kind of what you're like. Okay. As far as all right, as far as posting goes, on your regular feed, basically you want to, there's an app, write this down, called, I think it's called Unum. U-N-U-M. N-M. So U, N as in no, U as in M, and then M as in, yeah, say thank you. Thank you for that. So basically that's going to show you the layout of your photos. And this is really important because especially when you're newer to the Instagram game, you don't really understand always what's going on. So I'm going to show you guys kind of like why it's important. So when you go onto my feed, okay, so you always see like, all right, so you never want to have two selfies, like selfie here, selfie here. So like selfie, then it's Kinsey, and then selfie. Like see how nothing ever touches? It's like photos of me standing up, selfie. So like you want to have different variations. Like there's not too many pictures of Cami like this. There's not too many pictures of just Kinsey like this, or like vice versa. You guys see how like nothing touches? So you want to make sure that you're really paying attention to that. Like if I had it, I'm trying to think. I don't post a lot about my dogs, but but you guys see, you kind of get the point here. Like nothing is exactly the same. Like there's a picture of Kinsey up close like that. Cami, that's like me and Zach. And like nothing touches. Like nothing can be the exact same. Back to back. So that, and like UNUM, that little app will help, it'll show you, you can like upload photos into there and like see exactly what your Instagram will look like. And you can save it that way so you know which photos to use later. And then what you can do, get this is freaking gold, okay? So you can go into this, okay, like let's say I was gonna post my dinner tonight, okay? I'm gonna post it, let's say I wanted to post this later. I can do this, next, type in what I want, right? Like I want like blah, 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 okay. And then I click okay. And then I'm like, wait a minute, is it? Save draft or discard. So I can save it as a draft. So then what I can do is click cancel and then go away, right? But then like, so tomorrow I can go back and be like, oh, I'm ready. I'm busy at work. So I'm just going to click this. My draft's already right here. Well, it is there if you, I know you guys can see. There it is. You click the draft, click next, and then it's, your words are right there. My God. You guys saw the word. Okay, so words are right there, and then you would click next, click share and post. So that can basically, that's going to save you a lot of time, especially if you work full time, or if you're busy, if you know you have a busy day coming up, or like sometimes, okay, so this is something too important to you. Like I know sometimes it's hard, like maybe you're in a bad mood, or like you don't feel like posting. This is really good to have posts saved for those times. Like, you know how some days you're like, I can take on everything, the whole world. I'm feeling amazing. I'm inspired. And you're like, I just want to make a million different posts right now. Like, or like, I can make a bomb post right now. That's what you need. That when you're feeling like that, make posts to save in your drafts so you can use them at a later time. So that whenever you feel like not so hot and you do need to make a post, that there is something there for you to use. Okay. And that's why it's crucial to take lots of pictures. So whenever you're out with the fam, ask hubby or ask your friend, say, hey, can you take a photo of me? Or, you know, ask your mom or whatever, like take a photo of me, take a photo of me and the kids, or take a photo of me and my dog, or take a photo of me and my husband, or me and my boyfriend, or whatever. And then that way, like later, at any later time, like you have a ton of photos to use for the days that you are at home all day, or you're not feeling well, or whatever. Okay, so you've got to make sure you're at least posting on Instagram every single day, one time a day. I post one time a day on Instagram, and I don't have a rhyme or a rhythm on my Instagram. But basically, like anytime I feel like I need to talk more about the business, I talk more about the business or more about the product, whatever. But you want to make sure, again, like nothing is back to back, because nobody wants to see back to back photos of the same exact thing. And it makes your Instagram feed look better. So there is that. And then let me tell you guys about this following thing, and then we're going to go about building up a follow, or like people paying attention to you. Okay, so I think it's settings. Hold on, I gotta figure out how to do this again. Every time I go to do it, I always have to figure it out. Okay, so is it filters? Okay, here it is. It says quick select. This is the app cleaner. Click quick select and then click see where it says select inactive users. You can do 60 days, which is like the regular, it's like the default, or you could do 30 days and then you can just click that. And so anybody who was whoever was not active for the past 30 days is going to come up in this, and then I'm going to click that and unfollow them. So that way you have your following, which is very important, to be way lower than your followers, okay? So when you're mass following people every day you're following people on Instagram, you're growing your market, yada, yada, then you should be following about 100 to 300 people a day on Instagram, okay? And Captivate is an app that follows for you, so you don't have to actually go in and you go in and you pick them, but it follows for you strategically through the day so you don't get blocked from following that many people. Because if you block that many, or if you follow that many people at a time, Instagram will block you, okay? So it's very important to have your following way lower because it just is, so make sure you do that. And if you do it all the time, you're going to notice like a lot of your following goes down faster. So more people are like, oh my gosh, Katie's so important, yada, yada. She's got a lot of people following her and she doesn't always follow back. So yada, yada, whatever. How did she set it to unfollow after a set amount? Okay. Cleaner, go to Cleaner. It's app in iPhone. You go to Cleaner, you go to settings, and then you go to under the category quick select. It says select inactive users, and then you can pick the day, and then then you would go to following, and then I would select quick select all, actions, unfollow, and then it unfollows. Okay, so making sure your following is way lower is so important, and following every day to get new people into your thing, blah, 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 blah. That's important. And okay, so now going over getting people to pay attention. So all these things go into getting people to pay attention, but some additional tips that I think that are really important is for you to talk about something to get them to pay attention, okay? So whether that's if you need to lose weight, go on a weight loss journey with the products. If you feel like you're just like, you know what, I've been wanting to get fit, I've been putting it off, then go ahead and get fit and use the products and do little bit fitness videos or whatever. There's actually an app called Cut Story. Cut Story, hold on one second, let me grab the baby. All right, so Cut Story is an app, and the app will let you to record a video and then upload it to your Instagram story, cuts it into 15-second intervals so that you can how when you're doing an Instagram video, you have to record and then cuts off and then you got to start a new one. Cut Story lets you record a video straight and then upload it to Instagram, and it'll instantly, it'll just keep going instead of having stop, start, stop, start. So that's a good one, but basically creating, what did I say? Okay, yeah. So creating a reason for people to follow you is very important, and being present is very important, but also creating something that is so you. And I want everybody, can everybody in here, I want you to write below in the chat, what about your upline made you join? Especially if you joined recently with, with all the, with the use of Instagram stories and stuff like that. But if you didn't, still talk about what about the Instagram, what did you see in her post that made you want to join? Consistency, freedom, excited. Here, let me shoot that. Going outside all the time. This is what cleaner looks like. This one right here. Right where my finger's at. Looks like Instagram. It's a rainbow one. I'm trying to flash y'all. Several promotions in a row. Living life without checking a bank account. Always doing what she wants when she wants lifestyle. Freedom. I've known her forever. Living her best life. I love that. Spoiling babies. Okay. All right. So all these things were portrayed through Instagram or Facebook on posts or stories, and retiring her husband. See, there's so many things that are shared through here that are so important that have been posted about daily. So everything you do, take advantage of it. If you're at the grocery store, talk about it. If you're ordering groceries or you're going through the grocery store, just talk about your life. Do a little vlog. Guys, do you guys think about this? How many people, and if you don't know about this, I'll tell you about this. So YouTube is blowing the F up right now because there are so many people now. I know a lot of people that watch makeup videos or whatever, that are just randomly, like random nobodies just go on YouTube, start making YouTube or makeup videos, and they're getting a lot of people to pay attention to them because they're interesting, they're funny. I know like Zach plays Xbox, and like he's got people that do like YouTube videos on like them playing video games, and it's like people are obsessed with watching these things because why? They're showing their personality, they're funny, they make people laugh, or you know, whatever like they're doing, or vloggers like, you know, on YouTube. My sister like tells me all about these people, and basically they're always doing something to get people to pay attention. So if they got pregnant, they're like, oh my God, like it blows up. And they're like, oh my gosh, and this is what I use for the baby. I got all this stuff. This is on my registry. I use these blankets and these diapers and this wash and blah, blah, blah. And people are just like, oh my God, I need that. Same thing like with you guys. Like you guys can talk about how you use, you know, the greens right now to keep your immune system boosted, or you use the wraps to make sure you get fit and you look great before your trip, or you're using the shake or whatever to get extra protein in and blah, 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 whatever. You guys get the point. But showing people why you're doing things, talk about what you're doing all the time, being consistent on your feed, and interacting on people's stories. So every time I have spare time, and this is how I sign up, like I would say 90-something% of my people, I go through my Instagram stories, and I'm constantly talking to people on Instagram. Just like going through stories, and I'm like, okay, so for example, I go to my stories right now, and it's usually like my favorites are always in the beginning because I always watch their stuff and talk to them. But anyway, so I go through and I'm like, okay, so let's see. I go to this girl, I talk to her all the time. And so, okay, so here is like a picture of my friend who posted about her kid wanting to buy her grandma this really cute sign or whatever, but whatever. It was whatever. She talked about her daughter wanted to give her grandma a sign, and they didn't buy it, so they sent her a picture of it. So I could literally message her and be like, oh my God, that's so adorable. That's so sweet of her. And like, then she'll message me back. Okay. And like going through all these things that I'm doing, like I'm talking to people just like whatever I can. And like this girl's like, oh my gosh, you know, this girl's trying veggie tots. It sounds disgusting. But I would be like, okay, so, oh my gosh, how did they taste? Were they nasty? And see what she says. And like that message says like, she'll be like, who's Katie? And like go to my profile, look at me, message me back, and talk to me. And then now every time she logs on Instagram, Katie is going to be #1 in her Instagram story feed every single day. So, and then I'll keep talking to her about stuff. Like I let that conversation obviously die. You can't talk about veggie tots forever. But the more that she posts and the more that I post, we'll interact more. So she'll probably start responding more to my posts, and then vice versa. And then eventually she's going to throw in that line of, what do you do? And there we go. Then the rest is history. So that's pretty much everything about Instagram. Did this video, do you guys have any questions, or do you guys want any more, like anything, or are you confused about anything before we hop off? I don't have my glasses on, so I keep sweating. But I wanted to make sure I get everybody's questions answered, because I will tell you guys right now, it is so helpful to have a good Instagram. And I love Instagram so much. I just feel like it changes the game. The Cleaner app, is that what you're talking about? You go to Cleaner, and then you click settings, and then you can say filter following list, and then it'll say actions, unfollow. Okay, so polls. Oh wait, no, I'm sorry, I can't see. Obviously my glasses aren't on. What else did you post if you don't have kids? Okay, so I know you, Maggie, you're doing weight loss right now, because you have those good before and after. So talking about your weight loss journey. So talking about things that like you're doing, whether it's like if you decide like you're gonna go outside for a quick walk, do a picture if you have a Fitbit or an Apple Watch. And even if you don't, like a lot of phones will have like a little thing on it, like a fitness tracker thing. Just do screenshots of that. Like I'm going on a walk. Oh my gosh, I love seeing this weight fall off. Or it's so gorgeous outside. I love doing my nightly walks. You could do like making your shakes. You could just be talking about like if you're doing your hair, or you could do like if you're shopping, even grocery shopping, or just if you have dogs, you can do something of your dogs or cats or whatever if you have pets. I'm trying to think what else. Just talk about things like laundry. Like you could be like, oh my gosh, is anybody else just like doing laundry on laundry day? And then like do like a little quick video of like all the amount of laundry that you have. Or really like, does that kind of help like jog some things? I'm trying to think. I'm like, wow, God, life before kids, that was a long time ago. But that's the stuff that I used to, like I know that I include in addition to my kids, and like if I do clothes shopping or things like that, I always talk about that. Okay, so I hope this helps, guys. Like, seriously, I'm telling you guys, I want you guys to challenge yourself to, one, unfollow, yes, non-followers. I want you guys to unfollow every person that does not follow you back and unfollow everybody that has not posted in the past 30 days, okay? And then this week, I want you to focus on growing your following by at least 500, okay? Getting your following up is new faces, new people to talk to, yada, yada. So and then after you unfollow all those people in the next, like, day or two, then I want you, by the end of October, I want you guys to, which is Wednesday, to focus on getting 500 new followers and utilizing everything in this training to grow your story. And if you guys need help with, like, highlight story backgrounds or anything like that, you can ask. I'll help you out with that. Same thing with, if you need help with your bio, just let me know. But this is going to help you guys so much in regards to, like, your whole, like, your story, getting people to just pay attention. And yeah. So if you guys don't have any more questions, I'm going to hop off. I'm going to give everybody, like, another second. I'm going to end the recording.